Have you been feeling restless since last night? There is a reason you were guided to this message today. Stay with me until the very end, because what you are about to hear may completely change the way you see your soulmate and the strange events surrounding your connection. Last night was not an ordinary night for them. Something unexpected happened. Something they never imagined would take place. Your soulmate was caught in a situation they could not escape, and the truth behind that moment has everything to do with the path that is leading them toward you. Before you think the worst, listen carefully. This story is not about betrayal. It is about destiny revealing itself through an event that no one could have predicted. Sometimes the universe allows difficult moments to happen because hidden truths can only be exposed when masks fall away. Last night was one of those moments. Your soulmate had been carrying emotions they could not explain for a long time. They kept pretending everything around them was normal, but deep inside they felt someone was missing from their life. They could not understand why every achievement felt incomplete, why every smile faded so quickly, and why every relationship seemed unable to fill the empty place inside their heart. That empty place belongs to you. Even though you have not fully entered each other's lives yet, your souls have already recognized one another. The connection between soulmates does not begin when two people meet. It begins long before that. Invisible threads are already pulling both of you toward the same destination. Last night those invisible threads became impossible for your soulmate to ignore. They were somewhere they normally would not have been. A conversation started unexpectedly. At first everything seemed ordinary, but within minutes the atmosphere completely changed. Someone asked them a question they were not prepared to answer. Another person noticed the hesitation in their voice. Suddenly every excuse they had been hiding behind began to disappear. They were caught, not because they had committed a crime, but because destiny no longer allowed them to keep running from the truth. The people around them saw something different in their eyes. They realized your soulmate's heart was somewhere else. They realized they were waiting for someone they had never even met. Your soulmate tried to explain the strange feeling that had been following them for months, but no words could describe it. How do you explain missing someone whose name you do not yet know? How do you explain dreaming about a face you have never seen clearly? How do you explain feeling pulled toward a future that has not happened yet? These questions remained unanswered, yet everyone present could feel that something extraordinary was unfolding. That is why this moment matters so much. The universe often creates uncomfortable situations because they force people to confront what they have been avoiding. Last night your soulmate stopped pretending. Deep inside they admitted something they had never admitted before. They are searching for you. They may not know your name, your voice, or your location, but their heart already belongs to the person destiny has chosen. And that person is much closer than either of you realize. The energy surrounding your connection is becoming stronger every single day. Small coincidences are beginning to multiply. Numbers, dreams, unexpected memories, random encounters, and mysterious feelings are all preparing both of you for a meeting that cannot be delayed forever. This is only the beginning of the story, because what happened after your soulmate was caught is even more shocking. The moment your soulmate realized they could no longer hide what was happening inside them, the entire atmosphere shifted. The room became unusually quiet, and every person around them sensed that something deeper was unfolding. One individual looked directly into their eyes and asked, "Who are you really waiting for?" That simple question stopped your soulmate completely. They opened their mouth to answer, but no words came out. Instead, memories began rushing through their mind. Strange dreams they had ignored. Repeating numbers they kept seeing everywhere. An unexplainable feeling that someone was thinking about them at the exact same moment. They suddenly understood that none of these signs had been random. They were all leading toward one person, you. The people around them misunderstood the silence. Some believed your soulmate was hiding a relationship. Others assumed they had secretly fallen in love. But the truth was far more mysterious than anyone could imagine. Your soulmate wasn't hiding another person. They were hiding a feeling they couldn't explain. Deep inside, they knew someone special existed, someone chosen by destiny, someone whose energy had already touched their soul long before their eyes would ever meet. One person laughed and said they were imagining things, but another became completely serious. That person quietly admitted they had seen this kind of behavior before. They said people sometimes begin acting differently just before fate introduces them to the love that changes everything. Those words sent chills through your soulmate's entire body because, for the first time, another human being had unknowingly confirmed exactly what they had been feeling. At that moment, they stopped fighting destiny. They silently accepted that their future was already moving towards someone extraordinary. Since last night, your soulmate has not been able to think about anything else. Every ordinary activity reminds them that someone is missing. Every song feels different. Every familiar place suddenly feels incomplete. Even when surrounded by people, they feel alone because their heart is searching for the one person who can finally make everything make sense. That invisible connection between the two of you is becoming stronger with every passing hour. While you are listening to these words, your soulmate may be wondering why they suddenly feel hopeful without any obvious reason. The answer is simple. Souls communicate in ways the human mind cannot understand. Long before conversations begin, hearts recognize each other. Through energy, intuition, and divine timing. The universe has already started removing the people, habits, and situations that no longer belong in your soulmate's future. Last night's unexpected event was only the first step. What happened after they left that place shocked them even more, because they received a sign that was impossible to ignore, a sign that convinced them their destined person was much closer than they had ever believed. And when that sign appeared, everything changed forever. After leaving that place, your soulmate tried to convince themselves that everything which had happened was only a coincidence. They took a deep breath, looked at the night sky, and whispered that they needed answers. Within moments, something unbelievable happened. Their phone vibrated unexpectedly. It was not an important message, not a life-changing phone call, and not someone confessing their feelings. Yet, somehow that small notification became the beginning of something much bigger. As they unlocked the screen, they noticed the exact same repeating number they had been seeing for weeks. It appeared once again, stronger than ever, as if the universe was refusing to let them ignore the signs. A strange calm settled over them. Instead of fear, they felt hope. Instead of confusion, they felt anticipation. Deep inside, they sensed that someone they had never met was thinking about them at that exact moment. That invisible connection was becoming impossible to deny. They began replaying every unusual event from the past few months. The dreams that felt too real. The moments they suddenly smiled for no reason. The times they walked into unfamiliar places yet felt as though someone was waiting just around the corner. Every memory pointed toward one conclusion. Their soulmate journey had already begun, even if the final meeting had not happened yet. Then another shocking realization entered their mind. The people who had questioned them last night were never the real reason they had been caught. Destiny itself had exposed them. The universe had simply used those people to force your soulmate into facing emotions they had hidden for far too long. Once they accepted that truth, something inside them changed forever. They made a silent promise that they would no longer settle for relationships that lacked peace, honesty, or genuine connection. They decided to wait for the person who truly belonged in their future. They did not know your face. They did not know your name. But somehow they believed you were real. Since that moment, they have been paying attention to every small sign around them. Every unexpected encounter feels meaningful. Every delay feels like divine timing. Every closed door feels like protection instead of rejection. Without realizing it, they have started preparing their heart for you. At the very same time, the universe has also been arranging events in your life. Small changes that seem unrelated today are quietly moving both of you toward the same place, the same season, and the same unforgettable moment. Neither of you can see the full picture yet, but destiny already can. What happened last night was only the beginning. The most surprising part of this story is still hidden, because within the next chapter your soulmate discovers a truth about you without even knowing who you are, and that discovery leaves them completely speechless. The following morning, your soulmate woke up expecting the strange feelings from last night to disappear. Instead, they became even stronger. It was as though an invisible force was gently guiding their every thought towards someone they had never met. No matter how hard they tried to focus on work, family, or daily responsibilities, your energy continued to appear in unexpected ways. A familiar song suddenly played at the perfect moment. A stranger spoke words that sounded like advice meant specifically for them. Then, while scrolling through their phone, they came across a message that read, "The person meant for you is closer than you think." They froze. Their heart began beating faster because it felt like the universe was speaking directly to them. For the first time, they stopped asking whether destiny was real and started asking when it would finally bring the two of you together. The events of last night had changed everything. Being caught had forced them to admit a truth they could no longer hide. They were no longer searching for temporary happiness. They were waiting for the one soul that would finally bring peace into their life. At that very moment, another unexpected event unfolded. Someone close to your soulmate noticed they had been acting differently and quietly asked if there was someone special in their life. Your soulmate smiled softly and replied with words that surprised even them. "Not yet, but I know they're coming." Those simple words carried more faith than fear. They could not explain why they believed it so strongly, but something inside refused to let them give up. Every challenge they had faced suddenly made sense. Every delay now felt like preparation. Every disappointment became proof that the wrong people had to leave before the right person could arrive. The universe was clearing the path one step at a time. Meanwhile, without realizing it, your own journey was moving in the same direction. Decisions you are making today, places you choose to visit, and conversations that seem ordinary are quietly becoming part of the same story. Destiny is weaving two separate lives into one future. Neither of you knows the exact day your paths will cross, but the signs are becoming too powerful to ignore. Your soulmate can already feel that a life-changing meeting is approaching. They may not recognize your face immediately, but their heart will. That recognition will happen in an instant, as though every unanswered question suddenly finds its answer. Yet there is one final secret your soulmate has not discovered. Hidden behind last night's mysterious events is a truth about why the universe allowed them to be caught in the first place, and when that truth is finally revealed, it will leave both of you speechless. The truth behind everything that happened last night was finally beginning to reveal itself. Your soulmate had spent hours wondering why they were placed in that unexpected situation, but the answer came quietly, not through another person, but through a feeling so powerful it could no longer be ignored. They realized they had not been caught by accident. The universe had allowed that moment because it was the final lesson before the next chapter of their life could begin. Every excuse they once used to avoid love had disappeared. Every wall they had built around their heart had started to fall. They understood that they could no longer hide from the connection destiny had prepared for them. Since that night, something inside them has completely changed. They have become more patient, more thoughtful, and more aware of the signs appearing around them every day. They have started noticing repeated numbers, meaningful coincidences, and conversations that seem strangely connected to their future. Even complete strangers have unknowingly spoken words that gave them hope. It feels as though the universe is using ordinary moments to prepare them for an extraordinary meeting. Deep inside, your soulmate has already made a decision they have not told anyone about. When the right person finally enters their life, they will stop running. They will stop questioning every feeling. They will choose honesty instead of fear and commitment instead of uncertainty. They may not know your name today, but their heart has already reserved a place for you. Every day that passes brings both of you closer to the moment your paths finally cross. The delays were never punishment. They were protection. The heartbreaks were never failures. They were lessons. The loneliness was never permanent. It was preparing both of your hearts to recognize something real when it finally arrives. That is why the events of last night were so important. They marked the end of your soulmate's old life and the beginning of a future where destiny takes control. Very soon, an unexpected conversation, a chance encounter, or a decision that seems completely ordinary will become the turning point that changes everything. When that moment comes, your soulmate will immediately remember the strange feeling they experienced after being caught, because they will finally understand that every sign, every delay, and every mystery was leading them to one person all along, you. And the final chapter reveals the one shocking detail your soulmate discovers just before destiny brings the two of you together forever. Days later, your soulmate finally understood the meaning of everything that had happened. The night they were caught was never meant to embarrass them. It was the universe's way of stopping them before they walked any farther down a path that was never meant for them. Had that moment not happened, they might have continued chasing people who could never give them the love they truly deserved. Instead, destiny interrupted their journey at exactly the right time. Looking back, they now realize that every delay, every disappointment, and every unanswered question was quietly guiding them toward one extraordinary person. That person is you. Even though your names have not yet been spoken together, your souls have already begun recognizing one another. The invisible bond between you grows stronger with every sunrise, and the distance separating you is becoming smaller than either of you can imagine. Your soulmate has started praying for someone they cannot describe, asking the universe to protect the person who is meant to stand beside them for the rest of their life. Without knowing it, those prayers are reaching you. In the same way, the hope inside your heart is reaching them. Two lives that once seemed completely separate are now moving toward the same destination. Very soon, an ordinary day will become unforgettable. A simple conversation, an unexpected invitation, a random message, or a place you almost decided not to visit will become the moment destiny finally brings your paths together. When your eyes meet, there will be an instant feeling of familiarity that neither of you will be able to explain. It will feel less like meeting someone new, and more like finding someone you have been searching for your entire life. In that single moment, your soulmate will remember the night they were caught and smile, because they will finally understand why the universe allowed everything to happen exactly as it did. Every mystery will make sense. Every painful chapter will reveal its purpose. Every delay will prove to have been perfect timing. The story that began with confusion will end with clarity, and the connection that once existed only in your souls will finally become real. Sometimes destiny does not arrive with noise or dramatic signs. Sometimes it arrives quietly, changing your entire future in a single heartbeat. And when that day comes, both of you will know that nothing, not fear, distance, time, or circumstance, was ever powerful enough to stop what was always meant to be. From that day forward, your soulmate stopped asking, "When will I find the right person?" Instead, they began waking up each morning believing that destiny was already working behind the scenes. They no longer feared being alone because they understood that waiting was never wasted when it was leading them toward the love they had always been meant to experience. Every step they took, every decision they made, and every unexpected delay became part of a much greater plan. Somewhere, without even realizing it, you were making choices that were bringing you closer to them as well. Two separate stories were slowly becoming one. The universe had been writing this chapter long before either of you knew it existed. The night your soulmate was caught was not the end of anything. It was the beginning of everything. It was the moment fate removed the final obstacle standing between two hearts that were always meant to meet. Very soon, what now feels impossible will become your reality. A conversation will begin where silence once existed. A smile will replace uncertainty. A connection unlike anything either of you has ever experienced will make every painful chapter of the past worthwhile. When that meeting finally happens, your soulmate will instantly understand why every wrong relationship ended, why every closed door remained shut, and why every delay lasted exactly as long as it did. Nothing was random. Nothing was forgotten. Everything happened at the perfect time so that neither of you would miss the person who was truly meant to stay forever. One day, as you both look back on this journey, you will realize that destiny never failed you. It was simply preparing a love strong enough to survive every obstacle before allowing your paths to cross. And that is why this story ends not with goodbye, but with a new beginning, because the greatest chapter of your soulmate journey is not behind you. It is the one that is about to begin. If this message resonated with your heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next soulmate message that may reveal another important sign about your divine connection. Until next time, trust the timing, believe in the journey, and remember, what is truly meant for you will always find its way to you. As this story reaches its end, one final truth remains. Your soulmate still remembers the night everything changed. At first, they believed being caught was the worst thing that could have happened to them. But now they see it differently. If that moment had never happened, they might still be hiding from their own destiny. Instead, it became the turning point that awakened their heart and prepared them for the greatest blessing of their life. Every unanswered question now has a purpose. Every delay has become a lesson. Every painful goodbye has created space for the person who was always meant to stay. That person is not entering their life by accident. Your meeting has been written into your journey long before either of you realized it. Even now, unseen forces are arranging places, conversations, opportunities, and perfect timing so that your paths can finally cross. Your soulmate has stopped chasing what was never meant for them. They have started protecting their peace, believing in divine timing, and trusting that real love never has to be forced. The same invisible power that brought them through confusion is now guiding them toward clarity, and every step they take brings them one step closer to you. When the day finally arrives, neither of you will need endless explanations. Your hearts will recognize each other before your minds understand what is happening. There will be a calmness unlike anything you have ever experienced, as though every prayer, every tear, and every moment of waiting has finally found its answer. You will both realize that the universe was never making you wait without reason. It was preparing two hearts to meet at exactly the right moment, in exactly the right way. The story that began with uncertainty ends with hope, because destiny always finishes what it starts. The connection between true soulmates cannot be erased by distance, delayed by fear, or destroyed by time. What is meant for you will always find you when the season is right. Until then, keep believing, keep growing, and keep your heart open. Because your greatest love story may already be much closer than you think. If this message touched your soul, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next soulmate message. Share this with someone who believes in destiny, and remember this one truth every single day: what is truly meant for you will never pass you by, it will always find its way into your life at the perfect time.